Hello everybody. Give me 1 sec to finish setting up. I hope everyone is doing okay. Staying safe, staying indoors. All right, here we go. Looks like there's nobody here yet. Give you all 1 minute. Catch up. Okay, I think I'm just gonna get started and hope that some people jump in. This is gonna be recorded and saved on our Facebook page so you can come back and watch it anytime. Just a quick reminder, today is Wednesday, April 15th, at 4 o'clock, we're gonna have an online seminar with the Azusa City Library, and they're gonna be talking about how we can access resources online. Un recordatorio, que hoy a las 4 tendremos un seminario en línea con la Biblioteca de Azusa y vamos a aprender sobre los recursos que tienen para accederlos nosotros por línea. Y va a ser a las 4. El enlace está ahorita en nuestro Facebook page y pueden entrar, más hagan clic a las 4. So you can click on the link we posted just a bit before this post, and you can jump in at 4 o'clock for the Azusa City Library seminar. Okay, I have a few good books, but a little bit shorter time today. I'm going to try to keep it under 30 minutes. So our first book is The Paper Bag Princess by Robert Munsch. You can tell there's a sticker on there. Most of the books that I have in my collection I bought from thrift stores. They're all in great condition. I highly recommend if you're looking for books to read to your kids for cheap. Thrift store always has amazing books. The Paper Bag Princess. Elizabeth was a beautiful princess. She lived in a castle and had expensive princess clothes. She was going to marry a prince named Ronald. Doesn't look like he cares much for her. Bring it a little bit closer. Unfortunately, a dragon smashed her castle, burned all her clothes with his fiery breath, and carried off Prince Ronald. Oh no. Elizabeth decided to chase the dragon and get Ronald back. She looked everywhere for something to wear, but the only thing she could find that was not burnt was a paper bag. So she put on the paper bag and followed the dragon. He was easy to follow because he left a trail of burnt forest and horses' bones. Oof. Finally, Elizabeth came to a cave with a large door that had a huge knocker on it. She took hold of the knocker and banged on the door. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Well, a princess. I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I am a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." He slammed the door so fast that Elizabeth almost got her nose caught. Elizabeth grabbed the knocker and banged on the door again. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Go away. I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I am a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." "Wait," shouted Elizabeth. "Is it true that you are the smartest and fiercest dragon in the whole world?" "Yes," said the dragon. I wonder what she's planning. "Is it true," said Elizabeth, "that you can burn up 10 forests with your fiery breath?" "Oh, yes," said the dragon. And he took a huge deep breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 50 forests. Oof. "Fantastic," said Elizabeth. And the dragon took another huge breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 100 forests. Magnificent, said Elizabeth, and the dragon took out another huge breath, but this time nothing came out. The dragon didn't even have enough fire left to cook a meatball. Whoops. Elizabeth said, Dragon, is it true that you can fly around the world in just 10 seconds? Why, yes, said the dragon, and jumped up and flew all the way around the world in just 10 seconds. He was very tired when he got back, but Elizabeth shouted, Fantastic! Do it again! So the dragon jumped up and flew around the whole world in just 20 seconds. When he got back, he was too tired to talk, and he laid down and went straight to sleep. Oh, I see what she's doing. Elizabeth whispered very softly, Hey, dragon. The dragon didn't move at all. She lifted up the dragon's ear and put her head right inside. She shouted as loud as she could, Hey, dragon! The dragon was so tired he didn't even move. It's like she tired him out. Elizabeth walked right over the dragon and opened the door to the cave. There was Prince Ronald. He looked at her and said, Elizabeth, you are a mess. You smell like ashes, your hair is all tangled, and you are wearing a very dirty old paper bag. Come back when you are dressed like a real princess. It's not very nice. Ronald, said Elizabeth, your clothes are really pretty, and your hair is very neat. You look like a real prince, but you are a bum. They didn't get married after all. Good for Elizabeth. The end. Maybe she shouldn't have saved Prince Ronald. Okay, this next book is called Hug Me by Simona Cerullo. I haven't actually read this one yet, so I'm hoping it's good. Hug Me. Felipe was descended from an old and famous family who liked to look good and always behaved properly. His family kept everything neat and tidy, and they believed one should never trespass into another's personal space. I have some friends who are like that. That's okay. Some people don't like to be touched. Felipe was taught to keep still and encouraged to be looked at, and told that one day he'd reach a high position. But Felipe thought his family worried about all the wrong things. They didn't notice that all he wanted was a hug. Poor little Felipe. Of course, he could see his family wasn't the touchy-feely type, so he wished someone else would come and put their arms around him. But no one ever did. One day, Felipe made a new acquaintance. He was bold, confident, and he was trouble. I wonder who his new friend is. But Felipe couldn't see that, and they grew closer and closer until the day disaster struck. Uh-oh. What do you think is going to happen next? You think Felipe is going to get along well with his friend, the balloon? Maybe not. Felipe was blamed and made to feel very bad. Uh-oh. Cacti house scandal. Cactus attack. Balloon in hospital. Shame on the family. No one in his family thought of giving him a hug. So very sad. Clearly, he didn't belong there. For a while, Felipe hoped he would find a new family. But wherever he went, he wasn't welcome. Looks like my dog. My dog's always angry too. So he learned to enjoy his own company and thought he didn't need anyone else after all. Trespassers will be pickled. During all this time, Felipe felt very lonely. But what he didn't know was someone else was feeling lonely too. The day he realized that, Felipe knew just what to do. The end. Looks like Felipe finally found someone to hug. That was Hug Me by Simona Cirallo. Okay, I'm going to try reading a Spanish book this time. My Spanish isn't perfect, but I'm going to try my best. This book is La Visita by Margarita del Mazo. Me visita cada noche. Aparece en mi habitación cuando toda la casa duerme. Al escuchar los ronquidos de mamá, que es la última en acostarse, me oculto bajo las sábanas y me enrollo como un bicho bola. Para no ser descubierto, saco solo un ojo. Pronto veo aparecer su espantosa pelambrera. Esta es la pelambrera. Entre esa maraña de pelos alborotados asoman dos orejas deformes capaces de escuchar cualquier ruido. Yo respiro muy bajito para que no me oiga. Ahí va saliendo. Mi corazón se acelera cuando descubro sus inquietantes ojos. Sé que me buscan porque brillan en la oscuridad como dos canicas. Uf. Se aproxima lentamente, sin dejar de mover esa ridícula y pelada nariz. Arriba y abajo, arriba y abajo. Está tan cerca que puedo ver cómo abre su boca y enseña los dientes. Yo aprieto los labios y me aguanto el deseo de gritar. Uy. La luz que se cuela por la ventana señala un misterioso agujero que tiene en la barriga. Es asqueroso. Aún no sé lo que esconde allí, pero sus dedos siempre andan buscando algo dentro. ¿Qué tipo de monstruo será? Alcanza mi cama con sus brazos esqueléticos. Yo no me muevo ni un poquito. Cierro los ojos con todas mis ganas mientras contengo la respiración. De repente, le oigo susurrar. No te escondas, monstruito. Te encontraré igualmente. Ya no puedo aguantarme más. Y grito. ¡Estoy aquí! Este niño es una criatura bastante fea y extraña. Yo me la comería, pero es mi amigo. Y cada noche espero impaciente su visita. El monstruo era el niño. Y ahí están los amigos. Fin. There we go. That was La Visita by Margarita del Mazo. I think I have time for one more book. I will read Blackout by John Rocco. This book is about what a family does when their normal life stops being normal. Kind of like what we're going through right now. Blackout. by John Rocco. It started out as a normal summer night. The city was loud and hot. And then he said, tap, tap. Inside, everyone was busy. Get out. Looks like a normal family with sisters fighting, people cooking, playing games. Much too busy. Sorry. Looks like the mom and dad don't have much time to spend with their daughter. They're a little bit busy. She goes upstairs, and then the lights went out. All of them. Mom! Nothing worked at all. I wonder what they're gonna do. The city was dark and quiet and still. We huddled around flashlights and candles, making little shadow puppets. Until it was too hot and sticky to stay inside. Can we go? So we went up and up and up to the rooftop and found the lights. They're all up in the sky. And people. It was a block party in the sky. We waved to everyone and heard other sounds below. So we went down and down and down to the street. Come on. A party was going on there too. Free. Yippee. Everyone's out having fun. Looks like no one's busy. Yep, and no one was busy at all. When the lights came back on, everything went back to normal. But not everyone likes normal. I gotta go. Good idea, buddy. The end. There you go. Just like right now, even though things aren't normal and we're not able to go outside and be with our friends and family as much, we still have opportunities to spend time with people we care about at home. And I hope that continues after all this is over too. I actually have time for one more book, so I'll read Extra Yarn. This was a book that was gifted to me by one of my friends. She wrote, for Javi, because your extra yarn is precious and we all love the sweaters you make us. Happy birthday. From my friend Addie. Extra yarn. Let me adjust this real quick. There we go. On a cold afternoon in a cold little town, where everywhere you looked was either the white of snow or the black of soot from chimneys, Annabelle found a box filled with yarn of every color. So she went home and knit herself a sweater. And when Annabelle was done, she had some extra yarn. So she knit a sweater for Mars too. But there was still a bit of extra yarn. And when Annabelle and Mars went for a walk, Nate pointed out and laughed and said, "You two look ridiculous." "You're just jealous," said Annabelle. "No, I'm not," said Nate. What do you think? I think he's jealous. Even a dog. And it turned out he was. She made him a sweater. And even after she'd made a sweater for Nate and his dog, and for herself and for Mars, she still had extra yarn. At school, Annabelle's classmates could not stop talking about her sweater. "Quiet," shouted Mr. Norman. "Quiet, everyone. Annabelle, that sweater of yours is a terrible distraction. I cannot teach with everyone turning around to look at you." "And I'll knit one for everyone," Annabelle said, "so they won't have to turn around." "Impossible," said Mr. Norman. "You can't." But it turned out she could. And she did. Even for Mr. Norman. And when she was done, Annabelle still had extra yarn. So she knit sweaters for her mom and dad, and for Mr. Pendleton and Mrs. Pendleton, and for Dr. Palmer, and for little Louie. She made sweaters for everyone except Mr. Crabtree, who never wore sweaters or even long pants, and who would stand in his shorts with the snow up to his knees. "No sweater for me, thanks," said Mr. Crabtree. So she made Mr. Crabtree a hat, and even then, Annabelle still had extra yarn. She made sweaters for all the dogs and all the cats, and for other animals too. Soon people thought, soon Annabelle will run out of yarn. But it turned out she didn't. So Annabelle made sweaters for things that didn't even need sweaters. Whoa. She covered the whole town in sweaters. Things began to change in that little town. It was very colorful. News spread of this remarkable girl who never ran out of yarn, and people came to visit from around the world to see all the sweaters and to shake Annabelle's hand. One day, an archduke who was very fond of clothes sailed across the sea and demanded to see Annabelle. "Little girl," said the archduke, "I would like to buy that miraculous box of yarn, and I am willing to offer you $1 million. "No, thank you," said Annabelle, who was knitting a sweater for a pickup truck. The archduke's mustache twitched. $2 million, he said. Annabelle shook her head. "No, thanks." $10 million, shouted the archduke. "Take it or leave it." "Leave it," said Annabelle. "I won't sell the yarn." And she didn't. So that night, the archduke hired 3 robbers to break into Annabelle's house, and they stole the box and took it to the archduke, who set off across the snow and sailed over the sea. That thief. And he sailed back to his castle. The archduke put on his favorite song and sat in his best chair. Then he took out the box, and he lifted its lid, and he looked inside. What do you think he's going to find? Nothing. His mustache quivered. It shivered. It trembled. The archduke hurled the box out the window and shouted, "Little girl, I curse you with my family's curse. You will never be happy again." But looks like she found it again. But it turned out she was. the end. And that was Extra Yarn by Mac Barnett and one of my favorite illustrators, John Klassen. All right, y'all. That's about all the time I have today. But I want to remind you that, again, today at 4 o'clock, so right after this, in 30 minutes, we're going to have an online seminar with the Azusa City Library to learn about all the online resources that the library offers. Oops, turned it the wrong way. And the link will be posted, or is posted already, on our Facebook page. Otra vez en español, un recordatorio que hoy a las 4, en unos 30 minutos, vamos a tener un seminario en línea con la Biblioteca de Azusa para conocer o aprender sobre los recursos en línea que ofrece la biblioteca y cómo accederlos, así para que tenga para sus hijos, para que puedan entrar y encontrar libros. El enlace está ahorita póster en nuestra página de Facebook. Y a las 4 pueden entrar. All right, it was nice reading to y'all. Hope I can see you again soon. Goodbye.